Hey Tigers, okay, this is the Home Practice Assistant for Module 2, Lesson 3. The module is focusing on the division of fractions by fractions where the denominator is the same. Now look at our first example here. The denominator for the dividend is 5, 4/5 is the dividend, and the divisor, 1/5, the denominator is also 5. So we have common denominators. The denominators are the same in both of those. All right, to solve this problem graphically, because it wants us to use a model, why don't we go ahead and draw a tape diagram. I'm going to do it down here. Okay, there's my tape. Now I've got 5 parts, 4 out of 5 parts that I want to play with, right? That's my dividend. So let's model the dividend. Okay, so because I want to model my dividend, I want to make my tape 5 units wide, right? Because I've got a 5 in my denominator, and I've got 4 of those units that we're looking at. So I want to look at 4 of those units, so I'm going to fill them in. We'll use green this time. Shade them in. Okay, so we've shaded them in now. I can say now that I have successfully modeled 4/5, except that I think what I want to do is I want to show right here with a bracket that this is 4/5. It's 4 of the 5 parts, okay? Now, I'm dividing by 1/5. Really the question that I'm asking here is how many 1/5s, how many of these guys, 1/5s, fit in to 4/5? Well, I think it's true, you tell me what you think, that this right here is a 5th, right? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts, and this is one of them. So it's 1 out of 5 parts. This is 1/5. How many fifths do I have in 4/5? How many fifths do I have in 4/5? Well, let me draw. I'm not going to draw another bracket. Let me just draw. There's another 5th, right? And there's another 5th. And here is one last 5th. There are 4 groups of 1/5 in 4/5. Therefore, the answer here is 4. The answer there is 4. Please don't say that it's 4/5, because 4/5 divided by 1/5 is not 4/5. Not even close. Okay. Now you can also think about this when you're looking at 4/5 divided by 1/5. You're saying that it's 4 of this thing called fifths, right? That's one of these boxes that I've colored green is a 5th. There are 4 of them, and I am dividing by 1 of them. So how many times does 1 of these 5ths go into 4 of them? Well, 4 times. There are 4 of them, so 1 of them fits inside of 4 of them 4 times. This is really just 4 divided by 1 equals 4. Because it doesn't matter that we're talking about fifths or ones or tens or scholars or cheeseburgers or anything. It's 4 of something divided by 1 of the same something. So it's 4 divided by 1 is 4. Okay, so this is the example that is maybe a little bit more important when it comes to assisting you with your home practice. This one says 13/5 divided by 4/5. Or we could ask ourselves, how many times does the group 4/5 fit inside of 13/5? Now you'll notice again that our dividend has a unit of fifths, and so does our divisor. It also has a unit of fifths. So we could just ignore those. We've got 13 of them over here in the dividend, and we've got 4 of them in the divisor. So really we could just say that it's 13 divided by 4. Now, if we were to do long division with that, we would say that 13 divided by 4, okay, 4 goes into 13 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract 12 from 13, we get 1. 4 doesn't go into 1. Because there's only one of the 13 remaining, that's 1/4 of 4. So really the answer here is 3 1/4, or 3 1/4. Now let me show you how this is done graphically. Let me draw a tape diagram. Okay, so I've got 13 fifths, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. We could say that 1 is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where 1 ends up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the end of 2, right? So from here to here is 1. That's 5 fifths. From here to here is 2. That's 10 fifths. And 3 more fifths, okay? So it's 2 3 fifths is 13 fifths. I want to know, how many times does 4 fifths happen? How many groups of 4 fifths can I fit into 13 fifths? Well, let me draw right here a bracket. This is 4 fifths. And I should have written that this whole thing right here, just to be clear, this whole thing is 13 fifths, right? 13 fifths. All right, so we have 4 fifths. There, it happens once. We're going to have another group of 4 fifths. It happens twice. There's still room for another group of 4 of those fifths. Happens 3 times. Now don't forget, each one of these is 1/5. But we have 1 left over. We've got 1 left over right here, right? We've got 1/5. And 1/5 is what fraction of 4 fifths? Well, look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 parts to 4 fifths. And we have 1 part here, so it's 1 out of 4 parts, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, and 1 out of 4 possible parts. So 1/4 of the group 4 fifths fits into what's remaining at the end here. So it's 3 1/4. The answer is 3 1/4. Feel free to dojo me if you need additional help.